Gentlemen, hello, welcome back to Subscriber Week. Today we are joining Tecnos00 from the Fire Clan in his Centurion axe on a standard battle on Erlenberg. Now, this is one of my favourite medium tanks in the game. It's just so damn powerful, versatile, and limitless improvement on the predecessor to this tank, the FE4202. I say predecessor, it's not, I call this matchmate leaked. Okay, well, let's delve deeper into that, shall we? E50M Centurion Axe 50B, top tiers are fairly mobile on Tecnos' side. The enemy team only have a T22 medium. Let's look at collateral damage. Centurion 7-1 E50 against the T54. T8 mediums CDC and the Centurion 1. Undoubtedly, Tecnos has got the more mobile team here, so an aggressive play is likely to be able to lock down a lot of the enemy team's forces, like slower TDs, maybe some of their slower heavies like the KV4, IS-28. You can stop them getting into the fight at all. So I'm happy to see Tecnos gravitating towards the 9-0 line, as it is more suited to this tank, and sticking to the left side of this line is going to allow him to use the 410 meter base view range on the Centurion axe to get some early vision up for his team. It looks like he's going to go into a bush that I very much enjoy using, because it allows me to get some intel on what the enemy are doing. Now, he has actually got a first aid kit. He just uses it in different order. It confused me for a second, but from the looks of the map and that view range indicator, I would suggest that Tecnos does not actually have optics on this vehicle, which for me is an odd choice. I assume that he's using vert stabs and glamour and vents, as that's the only other option that really makes sense to me. And here we go, this is a lovely bush for you guys to use in your faster tanks. But not getting any vision, he wants to get a higher patch of land. KV4 pops up, but he's got T44 in position 300, wow. That's almost min-rolling. But hell, KV4, these are Russian heavy tanks. He is going to be able to just mince these guys. Oh my word, that is juicy. Nom nom. Is he going to squander the other shot? He waits. He waits. Well played. IS-28. Wow. This is odd to me. The IS-28 has actually learned. Oh, what a lovely blind shot that was. I don't think I would have taken that one. No, he didn't learn. I was talking out my ass. And is he going to get a shot? Nope. IS-28 goes down like the KV4. Already 2,000 damage off the bat from this early position. The T22 medium on the enemy team, guy from Fame, I'm sure he got that completely legitimately. He could have. Like, I'm not going to judge it. It's just, you know, a lot of people. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, so working the high ground here. Attacking the enemy in the Centurion axe. This tank's armor, and its turret armor, its 120mm of upper plate armor, is only good if you're above your enemy. Using that 10 degrees of gun depression to enhance the angle on your turret, and he's reversing here so that he can remain hold down and focusing fire into the most important tank he can see in front of him, the T54. And why he can't see that? Wow. That 80mm sidearm on T44, eating this 105mm shell, 268mm pen, evidently not enough, but it ups the aggression, which I do like. However, we've got to bear in mind that there's a Charioteer and the Jagdpanther 2 unspotted on the enemy team. Now, the Jagdpanther 2 is platooned with the VK4502A, who's over there, so I would bet on the Jagdpanther being here, somewhere close to this VK, maybe even up by these buildings, but he won't be far away, so we want to consider that. The Charioteer could be anywhere, but most likely over here by these buildings I would place him. So, gotta be careful of that while we make this engagement here. But, can we get some flanking fire? Stops to have a look. If he moved a little to the left, he could perhaps get that T-22 into render distance, but he doesn't want to waste the time trying. Right now, he's scavenging, and there, as we said, is the Atlanta 2. That is something that you should do in World of Tanks. Look at platoons, because it can give you a decent idea of who's going to be doing what. If you know what tanks are platooned with whom, with whom, I don't know. This is getting difficult. Why his team are still sat back on the 19 line, I'm really not sure. Fucking 50B, CDC, and 5100, and they're sat back there. I don't know. Now, I do like the idea to not go for the T-44, because T-44, hell, he's got the LB1 gun. So that's 183mm a pen now, 235 with premium, but it does 250 alpha damage, so it is not going to be a massive concern. Plus, attacking him leaves you in the open for people like the T-175, the Charioteer, all the flanking fire that can be put in from this position, so attacking that guy would undoubtedly be a bad play. But if you can get in between the buildings and then that goes down, that is a common problem with the Centurion Axe. I myself have safe stowage on this vehicle to prevent that happening, because, you know, what's lovely about this tank is the 6.98 grams per minute, and you don't want to lose that, because really this tank can't do it. Well, any tier 10 medium tank is just nothing without its line of fire, as we know. Looks like the E5 is either bot or AFK. That's a lovely shot into his lower plate. Now, I've got to say, at this point, I would be leaving. I wouldn't be shooting at this T-125. I would be on my way back to base, and I would be working these launch lines here. I should have noticed it earlier. Maybe I would have in-game, maybe I wouldn't have, I can't tell. But I would be catching back onto these hills here in anticipation of the enemy coming back to base, because I know this T-110E5 is dead anyway, and I know it's pointless going to the cap. The other option would be to push and kill the C5 and continue around there, but with the enemy wanting to come back to base, that would result in me being overwhelmed and killed, so I wouldn't be pushing the additional shot. As it happens, the lower plate of the E5 trolls him. Was this guy a bot? I don't know. That's just confusing to me. But yeah, a bit later than I like to think I would, falling back to base. It's going to be using the 1040 horsepower of the Centurion Axe, which gives it a horsepower to ton ratio that is distinctly average. To be honest, as I said when I covered this tank with a review, this tank is not about horsepower per ton ratio. That's not what makes it insanely fast. What makes this tank fast is its ground resistances, it being better than the Batchat in every single way. There's 22 medium. You do not want to shoot that thing in the lower plate. If you're ever fighting one of those tanks, shoot it in the upper plate if you have it on 220 plus millimeters of pen, which hopefully you will when encountering it. Doesn't want to stay out in the open with a T-124 rapidly encroaching on what is most likely the base. Actually, to bounce off the upper plate of the T-10, that's quite an achievement. I wouldn't be sitting out in the open here. You want to find an... Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. That E4 could be anywhere over there right now. Bounces another shell off of him. I really don't like this position. I'd rather be working a position like this that allows me to fall back easier, to cut off more lines of engagement. Right here, I'm right out in the open for all these guys. Maybe he's feeling the pressure of the base, but I mean, the T-10's not going to cap on his own. The IS-7's got flanking fire. There we go. Relocating to the other side, and GW Tiger P picks up the T-10. Now, that T-22 undoubtedly has fire support where he is. So, the team attacking him is not a good play at all. Puts a shot into 704. Is he going to pop over to finish off the 5100? 50B does it for him, but I'm surprised that no incoming fire is coming for that from that T110E4. Now, Tecnos is up to 7,000 damage at this point. His team are in a decent position. They got one RT, so they should remember that vision is an advantage for them. Hopefully the 50B will play passively and work on pouncing on the enemy, using the health that his other tanks have got left, and not just dying by poking the reach and engaging the enemy at long distance. Tecnos is going to relocate. Doesn't feel like working the launch line in the middle of the map there is the right play, although... Oh! Ah, that's unlucky. 0.32 accuracy and 2.1 second aim time. You kind of expect it to perform better than that, and there's that Russian armor. There is an RT in play. Gotta be so careful about what we're doing here. And I'd be locating towards the 50B right now. I mean, it's all well and good popping up here, but the longer I stay here, the more time the RT has to aim, the more time the E4, the 704 have to get into a position around the buildings where they can put incoming fire. And this IS-7 is going to get closer and go hold down. So I've been relocating with the 50B to this position because, one, it allows me to use more of my gun depression. As we know, the more gun depression I use, the better my effective armor on the turret is. So that's one factor. And another factor, at this point, engaging multiple opponents, I want to keep distance and keep harassing them, but keeping myself safe so that I can keep relocating the engagement as well. So, I hope to see him relocating. There's the IS-7. He does get a nice shot into his lower plate, but we can't afford to let that IS-7 close to the finish line. If he gets close, squeezes out another shot, but he's surely gonna get out of here now. Can't be fighting a hold down IS-7. 50B goes down to the T110E4, and unfortunately can't secure the kill. Gotta get out of here right now. These shots are nice, but it's just, as we know, this was always going to happen. It's a hold down IS-7, like. Okay, he's trying to distance himself from the engagement now. There's CDC going down. But this is what we needed not to happen. It's about keeping distance so that the enemy can't find and feather an engagement. Misses the shell. Is the IS-7 gonna high roll? Yes, he is. That is heartbreak material. Right there, over 8,000 damage, and his team still not being able to win the game. Now, let's talk about the Wallst side. Couple of plays that I would have made differently. Now, undoubtedly, because of my dystonia, I would have died a lot earlier and wouldn't have got 8,000 damage. But I'm trying to think, I would have abandoned that E5, so that's for 800 damage less, but I would have been back to base sooner. I would have killed that T10 as he went into the cap from a position of power on the launch line, and then being able to work more fire into the middle. Once the enemy closed distance to the launch line, I would have relocated to that 50B, most likely secured the kill on the E4 before or after he killed the 50B. Mind you, I would have been actively trying to get vision up, as on my Cent Axe I have optics and a max field range, so I would have been on the range line, most likely spotted that E4 before the Fig2B or myself got spotted and maybe taken him out with a long distance heat shot. So E4 would have gone down. Perhaps coming around these buildings I could have taken out the T22 or the IS-7 as they closed. Certainly the IS-7 and T22 would have had more difficulty closing to this range line because CDC and GW there and me there, they can't push in the middle. They got tanks on both sides, so they would have had to rethink their approach. Either way, I'm not going to take anything away from Tecnos' performance here. Absolutely fantastic game, and it's just a shame that his team couldn't win it for him. Well, you know what? I'm just going to show you the post-battle results. Let me do that right now. Okay, gentlemen, here we go. 3 marks of excellence. This was his 3rd mark game. I mean, that is a prestigious accomplishment. That is, like, if there's one thing you can feel proud of, like, truly proud of in World of Tanks, it's getting a 3rd mark on your tier 10 mediums. Very well done to you, Gazelle. Patrol duty medal and a high caliber, unsurprisingly. A master on your badge, and let's 1,360 base XP in a tier 10 vehicle. Now I'll emphasize that, in a tier 10 vehicle. The tier 10, 1.1 is good, 1.2 is exceptional, 1.3 is very, very good. And that is because you're simply not going to get the XP multiplier from shooting at higher tier vehicles because they're all same tier or lower tier. So you can expect to be proud of less XP at higher tiers. For example, 1.3 at tier 7 is, yeah, alright. But it's not exceptional. However, up here at tier 10, very well done indeed. 890 damage block armor, not really that much to talk about in that regard. Although, positioning wise, Tecnos, if you don't know, try and use more of the gun depression on this tank because its armor actually becomes exceptional when you're using the extent of that. So, T22 medium, I mean, it is OP, yes, but still well played to this guy. He did harass at the end and did a very good job for his team, and most likely was a key factor in why they won the game in the end. Detailed report, 8,701 damage all told. There was a couple of blind shots that we missed, and came out with a money made of 1,014, 36,000 profit, because it looks like he paid for some consumables in that game. I imagine that is a premium consumable along with a small repair kit or some such. So, ladies and gentlemen, a fantastic game from Tecnos. And until next time, farewell. What? What? How is that a thing? Now I can focus on my gameplay. Headache! I will...
Violated #1 rule.
Oh, there he is.
This camping.
Get it.